Hey, what's going on everyone? JS Cards here coming at you with a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. Today we're going to be going over my updated Swordsoul Tenyi deck for the new February format. This deck did get hit a little by losing 2 Pot of Desires and Protos, but this deck is still really good. It's definitely one of my favorites, and I'm probably going to be playing this still. Plus, we have that new level 10 Synchro coming out that looks really strong, so I'm excited for that, and yeah, let's just jump into the profile. We made a few different changes, but nothing too crazy. Let's just go ahead and talk about it. Alright, so starting off with our Swordsoul monsters. 3 copies of Mo Yi, pretty standard. This is all pretty standard. 3 copies of Strategist. This is my favorite one. It's a great, easy way to go into a level 10 Synchro. He also does 1200 burn damage. 2 copies of Taya. And then this is basically like a Swordsoul card. 2 copies of Ecclesia. Then for our Tenyis, triple copies of Ashuna, double Vishuddha, double Adhara, and 1 Shithana. So I wasn't playing Shithana in my first build, and I also wasn't playing Heavenly Dragon Circle, but I am playing both now after seeing some deck profiles. But yeah, it was a pretty easy replacement, just basically taking out 2 Desires and the Protos, adding in 2 Circle and Shithana. So we're playing, you know, 1 more Tenyi monster, which is nice, and then because we're playing more Tenyis, I decided to add in the Dragon Circle. Then for the hand traps, 3 copies of Ash, and double copies of Effect Veiler. As the format shapes up, we'll have to see what hand traps end up being the best. For right now, I'm just sticking with Ash's Veilers. I do have Imperms in the trap section as well. But, you know, we'll see what happens with the meta. I don't know if Nibiru will have to go in here at some point, if there's some sort of, you know, combo strategy that comes out. But I think this is going to be more of a control, little slower format. We'll see, but yeah, I like these hand traps. Let's move on to the spells. All right, so for our Swordsoul and Tenyi spells, we have triple copies of Emergence. This is basically like a Rhoda for all of your cards, which is really nice. Triple copies of Dragon Cycle and 2 copies of Dragon Circle. This card is really good. So you contribute a worm monster to add a worm monster from your deck to your hand. If you tributed a non-effect monster to activate this card, you can special summon the monster instead. You can also banish this card from your graveyard to add a Tenyi card from your deck to your hand. So this card's really cool. You can actually play around hand traps with this. I just added this in. I've only gotten a few games in where I've used this, so there's still some testing to be done, but so far so good. We'll just have to see how things keep going with it. And then we have the 1 Sacred Summit limit. I still think this is a nice, just one of, it's good for late game. This is a 41 card list, so if you guys wanted to try to trim this down to 40, you could probably cut this, but I still like it. I think I'm just gonna keep it in. And then for the rest of the spells, we have double copies of Chalice. I was playing 3, but it was a 42 card deck, and I wanted to try to cut something somewhere to get as close to 40 as possible. 2 Chalice is still really good, but we have other hand traps and stuff, so I didn't think 3 was necessary. We have the 1 Pot of Desires, still really good. I mean, it's a draw 2. Anything that says draw 2 is a good card. And since you're banishing monsters, this can power up your Swordsoul level 10 Synchro. So yeah, still gonna play the 1 Desires, and then lastly, we have Called by the Grave. Then for the trap cards, I played 2 copies of Swordsoul Blackout. This card's still good. It can get rid of some annoying cards that are out on the field, like a Mystic Mine, and now I think we're going to see a lot more skill drains out, so I think I'll continue playing 2 copies of Blackout, and then we have triple copies of Infinite Impermanence. So yeah, that's it for the main deck. It is 41 cards. Let's move on to the extra and then the side decks. So the extra deck has not changed at all since my last profile. I think it's really solid. I really don't know what I'm gonna cut for the new Synchro that we're getting, but you know, we'll figure that out when the time comes. And if you guys have any suggestions, definitely let me know in the comments. So we're just going to go through this pretty quick. Triple Monk. For a while I was only playing 2, but I'm really glad I have the third one. The third one does come up, you know, if the games start going a little longer. It's nice to have that third one. And I'm playing the 1 Shaman. Then we just have our synchros. So we have 1 Yazi. This card's really good. Dragite, I've always really liked this card in any type of deck that makes level 8 synchros pretty easily. 1 Omega, Berserker, and then we have our double Chisao, double Baxia, along with the Chao Feng, and then we have our level 10s here being the Swordsoul and the Barone. So yeah, that's it for the extra deck. I really like synchro summoning as a mechanic. It's probably one of my favorite mechanics, if not my favorite mechanic of the game. It just is fun, and especially that this is like a meta deck that's doing all these plays with synchroing and stuff. I like it. It reminds me of like the 5Ds era when I was like younger, you know, watching the show and stuff. But yeah, so that is it. Let's go into the side deck. So really the new format hasn't even technically started at the time of recording this video. So the side deck is definitely not final. We'll just have to see how the meta shapes up and what my locals is doing. But these are all just like really good general side deck cards. So I'm playing 3 copies of Droll, still one of my favorite hand traps, triple copies of Lancia. It's all just 3 of all of these. 3 copies of Dark Ruler, Lightning Storms, and then lastly Cosmic Cyclones. We're going to be seeing a lot more trap and spell decks. I mean, Trap Eldritch is going to have 3 skill drain. I think we'll see some more Sky Strikers as well now that Imperial Order's banned. So I think Cosmic's a really good choice depending on your deck. Twin Twisters is really good too. But yeah, this is just like a really basic side deck with, you know, some disruption and hand traps, but nothing too crazy and nothing final either. As we get into the format, I'd like to do an update to this deck, and of course once we get the new synchro monster as well. So there you guys have it. That is my Swordsoul deck profile going into the new February format. I still think it's a solid deck to play. It's a nice mid-range deck. You have some powerful synchro monsters. I don't know if it's going to be the best deck of the format. We have Brave PK running around and all these other Brave variants, but like, I'm still going to play this. I like it, and we'll just have to see what happens with the meta. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as well, and if you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Stay tuned for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos, including deck profiles, discussions, and openings. I also want to do some more Master Duel content. And if you guys have any other suggestions, let me know in the comments. It'd be much appreciated. I want to see what you guys want to see on this channel. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching again, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out and have a good one.